Whatever cooling solution makes the most sense, Green Heating and Cooling is ready to help. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new cooling system, Green will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. With Green, you get more than just a technician. You get someone who's committed to meeting your needs and achieving a high level of training and skills. Someone backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Nobody understands the ins and outs of home comfort like Green. So whatever your situation or budget, Green Heating and Cooling has a solution for you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
You snoozed twice this morning, spilled your coffee once, and you've already blamed last night's referee for your morning mood.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's time to embrace the chaos and step into the madness.
Bro, you about to see a side of me you didn't even know existed.
Featuring guests who are over-caffeinated and less reasonable than the average person.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. Are you serious? Ugh.
Fans, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Welcome to the show.
So buckle up. It's time for hot takes and hot mics. This is the Morning Rant, where the only thing more unpredictable is Dave before his third cup of coffee.
I just felt like running.
On WPGY, the Sports Pig.
Tailgate Thursday, right here on the Morning Rant. Hello, everyone. Welcome, North Georgia. Dave Garner with you till 11 o'clock today as we bring you into this Tailgate Thursday edition of the show presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Hey, good morning, everyone. A lot of things to chop up here today, and I've got my man to do it right here, Billy D, our normal Tuesday co-host. Okay, he's in here on Thursday today, and once again, man, you've got another championship belt. And I don't. What'd you do with it? Where's it at?
It's right here.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, man, you almost forgot that thing for a second. So again, Barnsley Gardens will never be the same as my man Billy D, our golf expert right here, comes home. 2 tournaments played this year, 2 championships, 2 big wrestling belts to show for it, man. We appreciate you being in here with us, partner. But yeah, man, how's it going?
It's going great, man. I'm excited to be in here. It's a different day than normal, so got a lot of hot topics to go through and looking forward to getting to it.
You know, I think, and obviously we're going to talk a lot about the Atlanta Hawks today because I want to give you your due credit, okay? Because we've talked about it. I know we're going to have some fun with that right here. You know, let me hear your caw real quick. Give it to me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right there. That's what we needed right there. But again, you know, we're going to talk a lot about the Hawks today. We're going to talk about the Braves as well. Chop it up, of course. As we know, the Braves out of the gate strong here. They've had 11 or 12 different lineup changes. You know, throughout the course of the season already. And again, getting back to their winning ways last night, you know, 8-6 over the Nats. Didier Fuentes recalled back up by the Braves, gets the start last night. Rough start, shaky start, but he settled in, and the Braves were able to pound out enough offense to get the dub last night. So we're going to dive into all that stuff a little bit later on in the show. But the biggest thing we're talking about today is the NFL draft. And of course, tonight is round 1, the primetime round, if you will. And I want to bring in our draft expert. We're going to spend a little bit of time here this morning talking with our man, David Collins, of course, who is our inside draft expert right here on the Morning Rant. He joins us right here on the program this morning on the Morning Rant live here on this Tailgate Thursday. David, how you doing?
So this is my favorite time of the year. This and opening day. This is the time of the year when every team has hope, right?
Right.
You can be the Seattle Seahawks or the Las Vegas Raiders, and you still have hope this time of year. So this is great. They're built. Yeah. This is where GM, which is why Fontenot was fired.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And we talk about that. You know, of course, there were a lot of moves made that the Falcons just kind of failed at. Right. And so, again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we kind of progress through this thing. But give us your top 5. Like what's that board going to look like once we see it tonight?
7 or 8 players that are considered blue chip players. I think there's a couple of players rising up the board, like Tyson from Arizona State, who I think you shouldn't draft in the top 10, but some team are going to look at his measurables and his production when he was healthy, and they're going to take him a little higher than he should be. But the most mock drafts that I've looked at, and when you hear GMs talk and you hear these draft experts talk, obviously Fernando Mendoza, you lock that in. He's already got the playbook. He's in. So he's going to Vegas. That's the easiest pick You could bet $100 to win $1 and win. So, but the draft starts at 2. And what do the Jets do? And most teams have Reese going there, but Bailey has made a quick jump. The problem with Reese is, I mean, the measurables are off the chart. He was a 1-year wonder, but he's kind of a hybrid player. So where do you place him? He's got all the tools to be an edge rusher, whereas David Bailey from Texas Tech looks like that's the guy that's the best pure pass rusher. Not very good against the run, best pure pass rusher, and that's what the Jets need. So it's gonna fall down and come down between Bailey and Reese, and I think it's going to be Reese. I think his measurables are just there, and then now the Arizona Cardinals are sitting there. What do? I've heard 3 different players mock to them: Sonny Styles, Bailey, and Jeremiah Love. And Jeremiah Love is considered the best player in this draft by most people, but he's not at a premium position, the running back position. So I think they're going to try and trade out of that because I think they would prefer a tackle, and there's not a tackle that deserves being in the top 5. So. So that I think that's where you start to see the trades happening there. I think the Cardinals trade back, and I think there's a ton of teams that would love to jump up there and get that edge rusher, get that impact defensive player, or get Jeremiah Love. So then Tennessee Titans, I think whoever's left out of that group between. By the way, Jeremiah Love does not make it past the Giants at 5. That's his floor. His ceiling is 3. His floor is 5. He's that good. So I think that's it. So then if Reese goes, I think Tennessee Titans take Bailey or Styles, and then the Giants. What do? It's all. I've heard everything from Caleb Downs to Carnell Tate to one of the defensive players to an offensive tackle there to Tyson going that high. The Giants are a real question mark, and they've got that pick at 10 that they traded into the top 10 with Cincinnati, getting rid of Dexter Lawrence. So the Giants are really interesting, and they're the one team I can see because they've got that pick reaching for a player like Tyson if they have Tyson ranked above Carnell Tate.
Right. There you go. Again, we do appreciate David being with us right here. Again, our inside draft expert. We are going to have the draft on basically throughout the weekend. So tonight, live round 1, 8 o'clock, right here live on WPGY, the Sports Pig, as we chop up the draft there. And, Billy, your thoughts as well. I mean, as we kind of come into this right here, talking about some of the things that are going on there. The Falcons obviously just have, they don't have a first-round pick, right? I mean, second round, and everything. There's a lot of talk about, do they trade draft capital to try to accumulate some picks later in the draft? I know there's some rumors and, don't know if there's any legs to it or not about Kyle Pitts drawing some interest from the Patriots potentially. You've seen some of that stuff floating out there. I think a lot of that stuff is just, clickbait, but who knows? We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, not sure what's going to happen there either. Excited to see what the Falcons ultimately do. I know we need to go defensive line, wide receiver, all those things you've heard about out there. The Kyle Pitts thing is interesting. I, for one, am not a big fan of him myself. But, if it's going to work in Stefanski's system, then fine. Let's see what happens. He's on a franchise tag. Give it a year, see what happens. But if we're able to trade and get something else, then I'm fine with that too. I would like that better, in my opinion. I think that would be a better – Kyle Pitts is just he doesn't work for us from his attitude, the whole standpoint. I just don't like it. I don't like it. If we can get somebody else that's going to work hard and come in here and be productive for us every down, then I'd rather go that route. Yeah,
absolutely. It totally makes sense, to kind of be in that, and you talked about it with Stefanski. I mean, he likes to build from the inside out, right? From the trenches. And so I think that's where maybe a lot of focus is going to be, especially when you consider that, McGarry just retired. I don't think that Jawan Taylor is necessarily a franchise guy the rest of the way. I think you're going to have to address that position certainly at some point. Jake Matthews obviously has got some, age on him now, and he's not going to be around forever whatever either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with two. David and I were talking yesterday, and I know, like I said, we're going to try to work through some technical stuff here. He and I both felt a lot of the same way, and not wanting to put words in his mouth, but you look at the players that we passed up for a guy like Kyle Pitts, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase. You can go down the list of the all-pro guys there, and I really felt like, I told David this yesterday, I felt like Penei Sewell, of all people, was the one that I wish we would have had. The guy's not maybe given up one sack his entire career so far in the NFL.
Right.
It's unheard of. Yeah. So again, there's a lot of things that when you look at this draft, there's a lot of different directions you can go, as always, as we talk about, each and every year. But it'll be interesting to see what the Falcons do, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about that here on the other side of the break. Hey, coming up, we've got some Hawks talk later in the show. We've got some Braves talk as well. It's Talladega weekend, baby. That's right. NASCAR Cup Series action right here. And, of course, you can hear it right here on the Sports Pig. Each and every Cup race right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia. Do want to remind folks, visit us on social media. The Sports Pig is on Facebook. Our show, Morning Rant, is on Instagram. You can also watch full video episodes each day on YouTube. The podcast version of the show, the Morning Rant, is available on our website, Sports Pig Radio, and wherever you listen to your favorite daily podcast on both Apple and Android platforms, Spotify, Podbean, you name it, we're there. You can catch me on Twitter at DaveGarner777. Billy D don't do no Twitter, man. We got to get you going on that now. You're like, with you being the golf pro that you are, man, people want to follow you, man. They want to watch and see what you're doing.
Nobody cares what I'm doing.
I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. We're going to go ahead and take a break right here. Again, this is our Tailgate Thursday presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. We're going to have our Hang It in the Louvre Sports Moment of the Week, and we're going to talk about our Tomahawk Take a little bit later on in the show, presented by your friends at Northside Hospital Cherokee. A quick timeout, and then back with it right here on this Thursday edition of the Morning Rant. Thank you for joining us right here on the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, on the Sports Pig app, and online at sportspigradio.com.
Welcome to your hometown pub. Open 7 days a week, the pub in J is your happy hour hangout. They offer a variety of dishes to satisfy every palate, and their friendly staff is here to ensure a wonderful time. Join them for daily happy hour specials Monday through Thursday. And don't forget, every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday with $1 wings all day long. Located at 941 Maddox Drive in East J. Open Sunday through Wednesday till midnight, Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. The pub in J, where every visit feels like home.
Grand Slam!
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball. Big opinions of the big games from the big mouths.
Man, I think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the Morning Rant on WPGY The Sports Pig, North Georgia's home for ESPN Radio.
Sit down.
Back here on a Tailgate Thursday presented by Green Heating and Cooling. Dave Garner with you alongside Billy D. Our draft insider David Collins joining us as well right here on the program, but we are having some technical difficulties, so we're trying to get a little bit of engineer help there to try to get David in over the air. But we were talking about the draft, and there's some news that David just shared with us over the that just kind of came out over the wire right here. It does look like that James Pierce Jr. Will have all charges dismissed if he completes a program issued to him by the state of Florida. He will have to reportedly attend therapy sessions for 6 months. Rickea Jackson and the police both agreed to this. Rickea, of course, was the one that his partner he was in the relationship with and had the domestic dispute with and everything. So
wow.
That's some big news right there on the day of the draft, because that almost 12 months to the day we drafted news. James Pierce Jr.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about him at this point, though? It certainly doesn't excuse any wrongdoing by any means, but now all of a sudden, excuse me, the pollen's getting to me this morning, but now all of a sudden you're in a position where if you're the Falcons, maybe you don't have to address necessarily, if you feel confident that he's going to return to the team, how does that change the complexion of what you do this weekend? That's,
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how the Falcons are going to handle it, too, when he comes back. I don't know what the NFL is going to do,
yeah.
What the Falcons will do. I don't know how much he'll actually play this season at all. It's all up in the air.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you just don't know. And that's the thing. There's always so many unknowns going into the draft. But, again, that's what it's all about. And like I said, we're going to try to get David back on the program a little bit later on here in this hour. Again, we don't have a lot of time. The show's only till 11 o'clock. Chuck Oliver, the king of college football with Southern Sports Today, coming up right at 11. We appreciate you guys being with us here on this Tailgate Thursday. Now it's time to hang it in the Louvre. Again, our favorite moments from the week in sports.
Time to hang it in the Louvre.
Oh, this looks nice.
Our favorite moments from the week in sports here on the Morning Rant.
All right, so this transitions us into a little Hawk talk, and I know you have been waiting for this for a week now. You're usually our Rally Towel Tuesday host. You've had to wait till Thursday this week. We've had some scheduling things. Of course, my man Will Cooper out of town. Big John Davis back with us tomorrow right here on the program. But man, just go ahead and lay it on us.
Man, I wanted to be here on Tuesday.
I want to be on,
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. I've been watching this team. I've been watching them ever since we got rid of Trey.
Yeah.
And I heard on this show, someone on this show said that we have to look at the back of the card. And, I've been looking at the back of this card since we got rid of Trey. And it looks pretty darn good. 70% win percentage. We go into New York, into the Garden, okay? And we take it, all right? We absolutely take it from there. Now, we didn't look good coming out that first quarter of that second game. All right, we were getting taken to the woodshed. All right, and then our second string comes in. Let me tell you a deciding factor in that game. So when Daniels gets that foul, and is it Townsend or I can't remember which guy it was, he walks over the top of him like he's just going to punk him. Right. He gets up and gets right back. That was a key moment in that game. Hawks, are you going to get punked? Or are we going to fight? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And, they all come together, and then all of a sudden you see the second team come in, and their defense just goes nuts. We get back into this game, and I was really proud of the Hawks in that moment coming back and how they fight. And I'm not worried when I see us go down 10, 15 points, because what happens every single time, I've been seeing this for the last 30 games. This is what nobody else sees. And you're texting me saying, oh, they can't do it. Here we go again. Well, I have seen this happen time and time again, and the Hawks do not go away. They don't. Yeah. They continue to fight. They come back on you. They play hard defense. I'll tell you what I am surprised about, though. I'm very surprised at Jalen. Yeah. Jalen Johnson. I'm surprised that he hasn't. Look, he's young. It's coming to him. I don't expect him to be the superstar right now, but I do want to see some signs of him starting to take that mantle, like you saw McCollum come through. The experience showed. I mean, the playoffs will expose experience. Right. McCollum came in and he took it over, and good for Brunson. Doesn't play good defense. Right. McCollum recognized this, started taking him to the rack. Yeah. And Jalen Johnson hopefully has learned something through this. And I think we're going to see a different Jalen Johnson tonight. I really do. Well, I think we'll see him step up a little bit on his home court, and we're going to see some good things. And we haven't really had a great game yet. We really haven't had a great game from the Hawks, and we're 1-1 on the series. Yeah. I mean, I'm really looking forward to tonight what's going to happen.
Well, and we talked about it. When you're on the road and you don't have the home court advantage, you're playing a best of 7. The biggest thing is you want to take one, right? You at least want to split the series. You want to grab game 1 or 2, right? Because you want to take away that home court advantage. You want to be able to, come back home, and now you're the team essentially that has the home court advantage. And so the Hawks did that gutsy when they go on the road. The one thing I would say now is, again, we're still early in the series. I didn't necessarily expect the Hawks to get swept, but hopefully they can come home tonight and ride the momentum and put together that game that you're talking about. The one thing that I did say is that, Jalen Johnson is the heir apparent now to Trae Young as the next superstar in Atlanta. We need him to play like it, right? He's going to have to find a way to step up, because you got to have your stars playing at the top of their game, especially in the postseason. That's a lot of pressure to put on a young guy that really doesn't have any playoff experience or much playoff experience, certainly in his young career. But I do want to see Jalen Johnson step up. I mean, C.J. McCollum, don't get me wrong. I mean, a veteran leader, great, bailed us out, I felt like, the other night with the 30-plus point game. Other guys getting involved as well. We've seen it all year long, basically. Yeah, Kuminga was huge. He gives you a little bit of inside presence that we felt like, as we've talked about the size. I know you've, kind of thrown that back as well. But again, it is one of those those things. I love the hustle. I love the grit of this Hawks team. And hopefully, like you're saying, man, hopefully they can keep that up.
Well, and I'll tell you what else was really annoying about the last game is whenever you saw all the moving screen calls from the refs.
Yeah.
It seems like we got called for all those. The Knicks get called for hardly any.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing the same things they are. And, I don't like to go big on the refs, but there's a little bit of a disparity there in that game from the moving screen foul violations coming through. And look, Brunson's good at drawing fouls. I mean, he's got a skill at it. I mean, he does that little stop pop. Yeah. And he goes up, and, if you're behind him, you're running into him.
Right.
It's going to be a foul. So he has a real talent for that. But, again, tonight when they come out, I'm expecting – and Nikhil hasn't shown up yet either.
Right, yeah.
Now, he played some good defense. He had some good moments.
Yeah.
But I expect him to have a great night tonight. You know what I'd really like to see?
Yeah.
I'd love to see us just blow them out tonight by like 25, 30 points.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
And New York fans just watch them go crazy nuts.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? That's going to put a little psychological effect on them because, listen, the Knicks, I told you I was not scared of the Knicks when we came to that series. If you remember last week I said, I'm not scared of the Knicks.
Right.
They're a good team. They're not a great team.
Sure.
And I believe we can take this series. If we win both the games here and then we go back to New York 3-1, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's crazy.
Listen, we don't have a pick tonight, the Falcons, all right? The Braves are playing in the afternoon.
Right.
You need to be watching the Hawks tonight, okay? That's what you need to do.
Oh, that's crazy right here, man. Yeah, letting Billy D get it out right here on this Thursday tailgate version of the morning rant right here. Hopefully they can get it done. I mean, I'm still, I want to be made a believer. Of course, I'm cheering for him. I'm excited about him. I'm not going to not root for him or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully they can keep it going right here. Negative, man. Negative right
Dave.
Negative Dave, man. Hey, that I mean, it's just 50-something years worth of history there.
This team didn't play 50 years ago.
And it's like I said, it's like a bad relationship, right? I mean, you've been burned so many times, but yet you keep going back for more punishment. But again, hopefully for the Atlanta Hawks' sake, they can pull it out. I would love it, if nothing else, I mean, in all honesty, like we've talked about, I would love at least to win a series, especially over New York, right? I mean, especially to hear Stephen A. Smith crying his beer, or what have you.
Great.
And their fans, I mean, they're still blaming Trey Young, like we said, different things. I mean, it's just kind of, funny at this point. Again, now there's a new villain, C.J. McCollum, or whoever they want to make it out to be. But nonetheless, if it's one team you want to beat, I mean, it's the New York Knicks. I mean, that's the one team you'd love to end their season, especially in the Garden. And the Trey Young bow will forever be a portrait.
I loved it.
Speaking of hanging in the Louvre moment, right? It's kind of like I always say with the Braves, and we're going to talk about the Braves here a little bit later on the show too. We're going to have our Tomahawk take coming up in a few moments. But, when the Braves won the World Series, in 21, I mean, they went through the Dodgers and then they went through the Astros, in the World Series. It wasn't like, I mean, that was like the perfect storm, right? I mean, if you had to knock off one team in the league in your, NLCS, I mean, you'd pick the Dodgers probably. Most fans would be like, yeah, who would you want to beat? The Dodgers. And then, with the Astros, with all the cheating stuff and all the things going on there, if you would have picked a team to beat in the World Series, I probably would have said the Astros. So, I mean, like, it was not only was it a championship, but it was also the teams that they beat along the way made it even sweeter to me, that things lined up. And so the Hawks' path is very much the same way to me. I mean, Knicks in the first round, potential, second round matchup against Boston. I mean, wouldn't that be, to end the Knicks and the Celtics season in the same year?
That's a tall order.
That's a tall order.
I would love it.
But if it happened.
I'm just looking for the first round.
Yeah.
If we get through the first round, we'll worry about that later.
Let's worry about game 3 tonight.
Let's worry about that.
But again, certainly looking forward to that right here. Billy D, hey, I wanted to ask you too about your golf event. We kind of came on the air and talked a little bit about it. And again, winning another championship, man. I mean, talk about it, because I mean, I bring Big John in here 2-3 days a week. We talk about all the Super Bowls he played and all the different things like that. You and I certainly aren't on that level by any means, but man, it had to feel good to go out there and swing it again and follow up your first championship performance with yet another World Championship wrestling belt.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. So just the pro golfers when they play, the familiarity with a course, is huge, and how to play it. That's why those guys go out and do all those practice rounds with it, and that's why I was really high on Rory Rory going into the Masters. Because he had been doing a lot of practice there beforehand, winning the one last year. I just felt really good about his game and where he was going with it. As far as Barnsley's concerned, I went and had a practice round there with a guy who'd been playing it forever a few days beforehand. He was telling me where to go with the shots. And now, look, knowledge is one thing. Executing on that knowledge is a whole nother level, right?
Right. Oh,
yeah. Just like the Hawks, you know you don't have the bigs, right? But how are you going to attack it knowing that you don't have the bigs? And can you execute that strategy?
Right.
And so golf isn't any different from that level, right?
Right.
It's the same thing. Now, I've heard that on this show, once again, that this is a not a sport, that is a game of skill, if you will. Well, I would say that's kind of a lot like baseball. I would say there's just as much energy going into golf, working out, running, as much running or athleticism, walking the course and everything. Yeah. Baseball, they stand around for half an hour before they do anything.
Right.
I mean, how much physical activity is going on there? So anyway, I reject that statement. But anyway, knowing the course, knowing where to go, how to execute those things is important. And then not being scared over a 3-4 foot putt. Some people perform under pressure, some people don't. Not to toot my horn, but I love the pressure.
There we go.
I love the pressure.
And that's what we talk about with golf. And then you have someone like Stephen A. says, speaking of, again, we're the home of ESPN Radio, who says that golfers and NASCAR drivers are not athletes. But, hey, man, I don't agree with that there at all. I think what you did over the weekend was awesome, man. I love bringing you in here right here and talking about golf, and we'll do that a little bit more as we talk about the PGA Tour, Live, and all those sorts of things, again, as the seasons continue on right here. Hey, we're up against our second break. When we come back, we'll chop up a little Braves talk, and hopefully we will rejoin the NFL draft talk here as well. A lot of things going on in the world of sports right here on this Thursday, Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant, presented by our friends at Green Heating and Cooling. This is the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com.
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, your official home for flag-to-flag coverage of NASCAR.
Financial scams are on the rise, and with AI, they're getting more and more sophisticated every day. If someone pressures you to act quickly, ask for secrecy, or request payment through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency, stop. Legitimate financial professionals don't rush you or demand unusual payment methods. Before you send money or share personal information, slow down and verify. Protect your future. When in doubt, ask questions.
If you're suspicious of a scam, call the team at Foundation Wealth today at 706-278-0214.
We bring the heat, you bring the trash talk.
Come on, man. Are you serious?
It's the Morning Rant, live on the Sports Pig app and sportspigradio.com.
Back here on a Tailgate Thursday, presented by Green Heating and Cooling. Hey, they've been getting it done since 1971. They can get it done for you, too. Again, call Green Heating and Cooling today for your spring diagnostic. Again, Green Heating and Cooling, a tradition of comfort. Dave Garner back here alongside Billy D inside our Carriage Kia studios as we talk a little Hawks talk here today, a little bit of NFL draft, some of the things, of course, going on a little bit later tonight, and, of course, this weekend. Tomorrow, Big John Davis will be back in here with me. We will recap the first round of the draft and look forward to the rest of the weekend. A lot of things, of course, to talk about tomorrow. Big weekend of NASCAR, as we talked about. Talladega weekend, as always. It's a lot of fun there. If you've never been to Talladega, I can tell you it's quite the cultural experience, if nothing else. So, again, we were joking around with Will Cooper last week. He's like, and he's an Alabama fan. We forgive him for that. But he said, anytime you go into Alabama, it's kind of a cultural experience. So, again, a lot of fun right there. Hey, we're active on social media. Make sure you visit us on Facebook, Instagram. Again, full video episodes of the show downloaded daily on YouTube. Again, we are the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia, and looking forward to a lot of big things happening over the next couple weeks for the station, but also for our show. We've got several live on-location shows lined up for the next few weeks, and so we're going to talk more about that tomorrow with Big John because, again, there are a lot of things that, again, are going on here with the show that we're going to reveal and talk a little bit about. So we're excited about that. Right now, it's time to talk some Braves.
It's time to chop on. Swung on and jolted high in the air. Deep right field. Back to the wall. A sonic boom out of the ballpark. Braves win it.
From
Truist Park to every corner of Braves country. We've got your daily dose of Atlanta Braves baseball.
A walk-off grand slam, and this place erupts here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Highlights, hot takes, and all things red, white, and navy. It's the Tomahawk Take on WPGY, the Sports Pig.
All right, again, our Atlanta Braves in action, wrapping up a 4-game series against the Nats today in D.C. The getaway game starts at 1:05. So, again, Chuck Oliver coming up here at 11 o'clock. And right off the tail end of his show, we will take you right into Braves pregame coverage today. So, again, an early start for the Atlanta Braves today as they wrap up the series against the Nationals. Again, already 2-1 advantage there, so trying to make it 3 out of 4. Big game last night. Didier Fuentes, as we talked about, recalled from Gwinnett, gets the start last night. Shaky start, 4 runs in the first inning, but then kind of settled in a little bit. Unfortunately, the bats were working as the Braves pounded out 8 runs again last night. They get another long ball or 2 right there. And again, the Braves again had won 5 in a row before that point the other night there. Meanwhile, the New York Mets had lost 12 in a row, but they finally broke through and got a dub last night there. But the Braves again playing some good ball, and a lot of big headlines for Atlanta here in the first couple weeks. Man, I mean, they're basically leading a lot of statistical categories right now in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean, they're exciting to watch. Love watching them come. The pitchers going to be coming back, really soon. So that's only going to make us stronger. The bats are getting. We still really don't have the Acuna that we all know coming back yet. So we have a lot of potential still left in the bag, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So, even though we're kicking it right now, hopefully that'll help. Maybe that'll spur up whenever we go through a little slump here, because it's not going to stay like this the whole season.
Right.
You're going to go through some peaks and valleys, and so rack them all up while we can is what I said.
There you go. Absolutely. So, again, our Tomahawk Take, again, our weekly Braves chat right here. Usually we're sitting here with our boy Will Cooper, who has all kinds of, like next-gen stats and, things like that we kind of bring to the table there. And so, again, we'll do that. Will on vacation this week. He's traveling, man. Shout out to our man, the golden boy there, Will Cooper. He'll be back next week with some Braves talk there. Again, we were talking a little bit, about this team and some of the things that they've done. Speaking of baseball, UGA Georgia Tech baseball the other night. Again, the Jackets and Dogs both ranked inside the top 5. Now, the Jackets did get the better of the Dogs at that game at Truist Park. They run-ruled them, in fact, 14-4. But, we were talking a little bit about the rivalries, and yesterday with Big John about, your rivalries growing up, sports villains, things like that. I mentioned something earlier in the week about Michael Jordan that actually ended up getting, almost 1,000 views. I think it was one of those things where I wasn't trying to pull a Stephen A. Smith or a Skip Bayless trying to get clickbait or rage bait anybody by any means. I was just kind of telling the truth and kind of how I felt. But I'll ask you, Billy D, and I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot right here in this third segment, but who are some of your nemesis growing up as far as just, players that you maybe didn't like? I mean, like some of your top sports villains of all time.
I'll tell you who I hate more than anybody out there. Sean Payton.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's an easy one.
I mean, that's my ultimate. It's not a player, it's a coach. I can't stand that guy. I mean, I just have these images of him on the sideline, this to us, while they're, playing us. And, of course, I'm a huge Falcon fan, as everyone knows. But Sean Payton, I can't stand the guy. Can't stand any team he's ever coached. Don't like the Broncos now because of him. I don't like him. I wouldn't want him coaching my team. That's how much I dislike the guy.
Yeah. Well, our draft insider, David Collins, he's sporting a Falcon shirt here today, man. So he was wearing the colors here, the red and black. And, again, talking a lot of Falcon talk really here we will have over the next couple of days as we kind of talk a little bit about the draft and, some of the things that are going on there. And, it's interesting. I mean, I had mentioned, the whole Christian Laettner thing, right? My wife grew up a Kentucky basketball fan. There's people that still sit courtside at Kentucky games that have T-shirts that say, I hate Christian Laettner, right? So, again, but I was talking about, Michael Jordan, some of the different moments. I mean, I don't know if you remember the moment where Christian Laettner, when he was with the Hawks, and he missed what would have been a potential game-winning shot at a game that I actually happened to be at, and that was the whole Michael Jordan, choke thing, doing the whole Sean Payton. It's like, what the Sean Payton's going on here, right? I mean, it's very much kind of the similar thing.
I literally just thought of something while you were talking. The mailman.
Oh, yeah.
The mailman.
Karl Malone?
Karl Malone, man. When he would get in his bag and he would do that turnaround fadeaway.
Yeah.
He was unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
And it just used to drive me nuts. Like, you knew it was going in before he ever put it up.
Oh, man.
But, the famous line from Jordan.
Yeah.
This is why I liked Jordan, because he would give it to the mailman, right?
Yeah.
So I remember on the famous line to him is, when he was at the line to shoot free throws,
right?
Jordan said, the mail doesn't deliver on Sundays. One of the best lines out there.
Absolutely. That was a great line. And
Bill Lambier.
Oh, yeah, Bill Lambier. I mentioned him the other day, too. I mean, you talk about the Motor City Bad Boys and everything. I figured you probably like a guy like Bill Lambier. No, I'd mentioned, that was the thing. Like, I will never mistake, I'm not going to sit here and say that, Michael Jordan is not, the greatest of all time. I will never deny his greatness, or any.
Reggie did the choke symbol. Reggie.
Well, Jordan did too. I mean, but yeah, Reggie did that, as well for the Knicks, right in front of Spike Lee, essentially there. But yeah, there's been a lot of different people, over the years that we talk about. And if you've ever followed like wrestling, for example, you got the big championship wrestling belt in here today, for example. So, I mean, if you've ever followed wrestlers, there's always those nemesises and different things, which I know you haven't. We just came off the heels of WrestleMania. And so, there's a lot of wrestling talk out there right now. But it seems to be like the trend is now that people are cheering for the heels. They're cheering for the bad guys, even more so than the good guys. It's kind of funny. The face guys, unless they're retiring, don't always seem to get the cheers like they used to. I mean, Hulk Hogan was always the hero, right? Nowadays, guys like that get booed, So, I mean, it's just kind of funny how it works. But, yeah, we all grew up with those different people, in our lives that were those nemesis, type people. But I agree with you 100%. Sean Payton is across the board, I think, for everybody, unless you're a fan of the team that he's coaching. And we have and you know who I'm talking about. We have a very mutual friend that's always kind of been a Saints fan and a Broncos fan, and now he's so he probably just thinks that Sean Payton walks on water.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah. So, oh man, a lot of things right here, chopping it up here on a Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant. Thank you guys for being with us. Hey, analytics are great. You guys are listening. We appreciate it. As we mentioned earlier, follow us on social media. We're all over the place. Reach out to us, interact, man. Show us some love. Again, Sports Pig on Facebook, Morning Rant on Instagram as well, with full video episodes daily on YouTube. And we appreciate you guys being with us right here on this Tailgate Thursday, presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. We're going to go ahead and take our final break right here on the program. We'll take you right up until 11 o'clock. Chuck Oliver, the king of college football with Southern Sports Today, on deck, talking about spring practice, wrapping things up, and moving forward into the world of NIL, transfer portal, recruiting, you name it, all that and much more straight ahead. Hey, we're the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. We'll be right back.
You entrusted your loved one's care to a nursing home, expecting compassion and quality treatment. Instead, they suffered from neglect, abuse, bed sores, falls, or medication errors that could have been prevented. I'm Chris Brown from Geiger Legal Group. Our elderly deserve dignity and proper care, not negligence that causes pain and suffering. When nursing homes fail in their duty of care, we fight to hold them accountable. Your loved one's suffering matters. We'll stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Call Geiger Legal Group at 833-HELP-GLG and let us tell your story today.
Grand Slam!
98.1 and 93.7 The Sports Pig, the official home for the Atlanta Braves baseball.
Morning grind with Pork Rind.
Welcome to the show.
It's the Morning Rant, weekday mornings from 10 to 11 on 98.1, 93.7, and 101.1 on the H2 dial. WPGY, the Sports Pig.
Hey, back here on a Tailgate Thursday, chopping it up with my man Billy D here as we hit the home stretch. The final segment of the program today. Once again, Tailgate Thursday, presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Dave Garner back with you right here, Billy D. David Collins, he's checked out today. We're going to bring him back in tomorrow once we get some things fixed. And we do apologize, trying to make some things work right here, but a little bit of technical difficulty with the board. injured, trying to patch through. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we'll get him in here tomorrow, and certainly looking forward to that as we get set for our, again, Friday happy hour segment of the program. Hey, we were talking, earlier in the show. We'll dive more back into it tomorrow. Hopefully David will be able to rejoin us, and we certainly do apologize to him. He's got a lot of great takes and things, and so we're excited to have him with us. But again, we were talking about the draft a little bit. We were talking about the Falcons. What do they do? What do they look at? If you're sitting in Cunningham's seat right now, okay, and again, the draft, first round's tonight, not more than likely not going to see the Falcons pick tonight. They don't have a first round pick unless somehow or another they trade or package up into the first round, which can always happen. But let's say you're in Cunningham, presumably your first pick is in the middle of the second round. What do you do? What do you do there?
Well, I tell you what, I don't know where they're going to go. I would think they're probably going to go defensive line. I wouldn't mind stacking up on defensive ends or defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of hope that this rumor is true about Kyle Pitts. If we can trade him away and pick up a pick somewhere,
yeah.
I don't know what all the scenarios would be with that, but if we could do that, I really like that because I don't care to have him on the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can see where it could possibly work with what they say about Stefanski and everything.
Right.
But again, Ian, we don't know what Ian's going to do. We haven't seen any history of him doing anything. But I would like to see them go there. But if there's a run, on defensive tackles or defensive ends, then you may have to go wide receiver a little earlier than you want. And you know what?
Sure.
I'm not opposed to a branch coming in here or something like that.
Absolutely. And I know we talked about Zachariah Branch with it, the arrest and all that stuff that came out there.
I'm good with any Georgia player.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, they're usually pretty pretty NFL ready by the time they come out of there. Football Factory certainly, just about anywhere in the SEC.
What about this? What about if we trade away and get a pick and then we go grab Delp?
Yeah, no, you could do that too.
What do you think about that?
You could do that too. I mean, you've got some different options there. I know that Kayshon Boutte, the wide receiver from LSU that's with the Patriots, was one of the players that was rumored. And again, I think it's just a rumor at this point, but potentially packaged in to get Kyle Pitts, to New England and so forth. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. The thing about the NFL draft that I've noticed is that there's so much speculation, like so many rumors, so many different things, even more so really, I think, than any other sporting event that exists on the planet, right? Yeah. And when it comes to the NFL draft, for whatever reason, there's always so many things that happen. There's always first-round surprises. Of course, the Atlanta Falcons picking Michael Penix a couple years ago was definitely a big surprise, and you even heard the folks on the commentators say, and there it is. There's your surprise right there in the first round. We're kind of still waiting to see how all that pans out. I know a lot of folks don't like it. Certainly at this point. But again, it's round one tonight. It's right here on the Sports Pig, and we hope you're tuning in. So again, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Outside of the Falcons, I'm interested to see what the Giants do. I think they're an interesting team. They got 2 top 10 picks, I believe.
Yep.
And then I'm interested to see what the Raiders do.
Yep.
They're going to get Mendoza, how they're going to build that team over there. They got some exciting young players. So you got a couple other things outside of Atlanta that are just interesting.
Yeah.
But of course, here in Atlanta is what I'm most concerned about.
Right, absolutely.
I had a lot of questions for Dave, so I hate that I'm missing him today. But I really want to get his take on quite a few things.
Yeah, we'll definitely circle back around, certainly with David right there. Hopefully tomorrow, get him right here back on the program. Hey, we've been talking about, of course, Hawks, the Braves. We had mentioned a lot of spring practice talk this week with Big John Davis. Of course, he was at the Flats over the weekend. A lot of different things going on there. UGA, of course, showing out as well. Spring football practice wrapping up collegiately. The high school is getting cranked up, though, over the next couple of weeks, and we may have a couple of guests joining us right here. If technically we can make it work. Hopefully we can. But again, right here on the program over the next couple of weeks, talking about high school football and sports as well. And we're going to talk some high school baseball as well. I know we got some things lined up there, so keep it right here on the program because, again, a lot more regional stuff. We are going to bring it a little bit closer to home. I think that's one thing that this show gives you is a different perspective, a little bit closer to home. Certainly we talk about the things that other, sports talk stations and people around the country talk about, but we also talk about other things that they don't. And I think that that's what makes this show different, and certainly moving forward, one of those things is high school sports, particularly the schools in North Georgia within our coverage area. But right now we're going to switch gears and talk about something just a little different.
From the buzzer beaters to the big hits. If it's making noise in the world of sports, we've got something to say about it. This is
Now That's What I'm Talking About.
That's what I'm talking about.
your all-access pass to the hottest takes in the world of sports.
All right, so not necessarily sports. All right, I know the intro said sports, but we're going to go in a different route here today because anybody that's maybe known me or that's known Billy D for a while knows that we have a love for music. You know, DJ'd music growing up, doing a lot of different things there. And I saw this the other day. Wu-Tang Clan is going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. There's only, I think, 18 hip-hop artists or groups total that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so it was announced over the last couple of weeks that Wu-Tang's going to go in. I think the ceremony is like in November. It's later in the year. But it got me to thinking, all right, and this is a topic right up our alley right here as we talk about not only sports 80% of the time, food 10% of the time, but also music and entertainment the other 10. So here's your 10% of the day right here in this final segment. Top 3 old school MCs of all time, or just your favorite MCs.
Man.
I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit right here, Billy D, because you and I have a history right here. I'll reveal my 3.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and go first. That way you got some time to think about this, since I kind of sprung it on you right here. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's 3 that I'm going to throw out. Now, these are old school rappers. I'm not saying these are necessarily the best currently or of all time, but I'm going to throw out my 3 old school that a lot of people talk about. And I would say that these are the 3 that a lot of people, if you ask them or you ask the hip-hop world, would say would be, certainly as far as 80s, early 90s rappers would be the one. The first one is Rakim. All right, from Eric B. and Rakim. I think a lot of people talk about
great choice.
Rakim, being there. The second one I would say is KRS-One from Boogie Down Productions. A lot of people talk about KRS-One and just his flow and just kind of the way he had some different styles there. There's definitely guys, and speaking of Wu-Tang, that 9 different guys. I mean, you could put a couple of different guys from Wu-Tang that have very distinct styles in there. I mean, you talk about ODB, you talk about, of course, Method Man and some of those guys. But my third and favorite of all time, and you already know the answer to this, I'm pretty sure, is BDK, Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, you took mine.
Well, you can have the same one. You can have the same one.
Love.
But I'm a Big Daddy Kane, right? When it comes to lyrical,
6'1" and dark and lovely.
Yeah. So I think that for a lot of people that like the hip hop game, I think when you talk about old school rappers, and I mean, my goodness, you can go in so many different directions with this. This is very much a 30,000 foot view. But right off the top of your head, I know you just said one, but give us.
Are AT Aliens old enough for you? Are they?
Well, now that's definitely. I would say that certainly for me and you and I being kind of Atlanta guys, I would say that Outkast, would certainly be one of the top groups of all time, no doubt about it. I mean, everybody talks about Andre and Big Boy and how good they are and everything. So, but go ahead, take it, man.
Big Daddy for sure. Love Big Daddy Kane. I would say Outkast.
Yeah.
Man, you really got me. There's a guy I'm thinking of, and I cannot, for the life of me, get his name, but he did a lot of poetry as well.
Yeah.
After the rap, he does a lot of poetry as well, and I cannot think of his name off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think, who that might be.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And that's why I like him so much, because he did a lot of different things outside of rap. After the fact, you sprung it on me so quick that I even tried to Google it real quick. I can't even find it. But
oh man,
you had a lot of guys. You had like Slick Rick. You remember Slick Rick?
Yeah, we were talking about him over the weekend.
LL Cool J. He's still the test of time.
Oh yeah,
he's old school. He still brings it in the new school. Of course, greatest of all time in my opinion would be like I think Eminem's the best ever, but he's not really old school.
But we can certainly take the conversation there. I mean, I think certainly when you talk about of all time, you're talking about Eminem, you're talking about Jay-Z, you're talking about some of those guys there for sure. So yeah,
I think the way that he constructs his verses is just so clever.
Right,
it's so clever. Same thing with New York guy. My goodness,
you tell me.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Same thing with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Same way. But Eminem, there's just something different.
Yeah.
Just something different. Yeah. When you watch the freestyles and you watch them out on the street doing their thing, his construction of a song is just insane.
Yeah.
And speaking of somebody who's written songs, like it's a real skill and a real talent. It's just not something that can be easily duplicated.
No, absolutely not. And you got to appreciate those artists, and not just in hip-hop. I mean, we're talking about hip-hop right now. We'll talk about rock. We'll talk about country. We'll talk about anything later on. But, yeah, I mean, to be able to stand out from the rest of the pack with your creativity. That's one thing I always loved about Big Daddy Kane was the creativity even 30 years ago that he put into his lyrics would even resound today.
I'm surprised you didn't mention somebody.
Who is it?
I'm surprised. You know who it is. You know who it is.
I'm trying to think.
Public Enemy.
Oh, well, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Chuck D.
You love some Public Enemy.
Well, most people do. I mean,
Chuck D.
Yeah, if you look up any
I couldn't stand him.
I know you didn't like him, and you're kind of an outlier because, I mean, if you look, if you talk to or look up any of the top, whatever rap groups all the time, they're going to be in the top 5 in every list no matter what. And a lot of it was just their influence, I think, on the music and society and just, from the political standpoint, this, that, and the other, the message. But again, we always talk about it, over on our sister station, it's country and it's very Christian. And we always say that the thing over there is the message is in the music. Right. Yeah. And so, again, the message for a lot of these artists certainly carries into their songs and transcends, the political boundaries, what have you. The one thing, and you mentioned this, I have an appreciation for the artists that do transcend time. You talked about LL Cool J. Absolutely. The guy's still relevant. Even now, the Beastie Boys were that way. They had fans, for decades that kind of transcended, time with them. And so you could even say the same thing now about Eminem and Jay-Z because you and I are old enough, unfortunately, that those guys have been around for a long time too, and they still have fans to this day, and they're still putting out albums and still doing
We're leaving out so many, man.
Oh, yeah.
Tupac, Nas, I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, you could sit here and you could have a whole show. We could do a whole weekly theme on that. But again, the reason we talk about music and sports is because the two go hand to hand. I mean, you think about, we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, walk-up music. Right? What would your walk-up song be, in baseball? I mean, music and sports just go hand in hand, right? I mean, you think about getting hype pregame, your team takes the field or takes the ice or takes the pitch or whatever, and you've got, bring them out, or whatever the song may be, and so again, music, particularly rock and hip-hop.
That was Duckett, right? Duckett. T.J. Duckett for the Falcons. When you were at the stadium, every time he was going to go through the middle or he made a big run up the middle.
Move, get out.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Move. That's right. That's
Straight up Luda. Straight up ludicrous. Yes. So again, I love the vibe. That's one of the things I do love about going to sporting events is the vibe more so than watching, the on-field product or on-court product a lot of times. And the Hawks, speaking of, have a great atmosphere. So again, get on down to State Farm. Cheer on the Hawks.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play. And hopefully the Hawks will play well tonight.
Yes.
At State Farm Arena. And there you go. I love it right here. About out of time here on this Tailgate Thursday edition of the Morning Rant presented by your friends at Green Heating and Cooling. Billy D with us right here inside our Carriage Kia studio. I'm Dave Garner. Thanks for joining us right here on the program. As always, we hope that you will join us tomorrow. Again, we will chop up the NFL draft. We'll try to get David back in here. But if nothing else, we're looking forward to having a Big John Davis with us in here on a Friday, and looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of the week as we get you caught up on everything and preview the weekend ahead. We'll talk about the Hawks as well. Hopefully we'll have some good news tomorrow, and I won't have to throw it back on Billy D. We're just going to keep trading jabs as we go.
It's all good. I'm ready.
You ready? Oh, man. Visit us on social media, Sports Pig on Facebook, The Morning Rant on Instagram, and also full video episodes on YouTube, the podcast version of The Morning Rant on our website at sportspigradio.com and wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Again, we are the home of ESPN Radio in North Georgia on the Sports Pig app and online at sportspigradio.com. And as always, we end every show by saying, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We'll see you tomorrow morning right here on The Morning Rant. Our man, Chuck Oliver with Southern Sports Today, the king of college football, is up next. Stay with us. Braves at 1 o'clock today right here on the Sports Pig.
Tired of shouting your business's name into the void and getting nothing but crickets? Your brand deserves more than awkward billboard glances and flyers lining bird cages. Right now, listeners are hearing me ramble on instead of your ad. That's a touchdown for missed opportunities and a fumble for your wallet.
Loose, recovered, Atlanta, game over.
Your ad could be here, making fans laugh, cheer, and most importantly, call you. Go to sportspigradio.com or call 678-454-9552 and get your business off the bench and into the game.